Okay, this is now the 5 Minute Tarot for the 26th of June 2017. And Renee emailed a while ago with 3 questions, and I was going to do one today, one tomorrow, and one on Wednesday. So the first question she had was, what's the difference between the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords? Because both show heartbreak or betrayal. Is 10 just that much worse? But it's because it's a 10 and the end of the cycle that it's finished, and that's really the only difference between it and the 3. So this is what I want to look at today. And if we begin with the 3, we've got the heart pierced with 3 swords. So the heart can represent courage, right? So the word for heart, the Latin word for heart is cor. That's why in The Godfather, you get Don Corleone. So he's core for the heart and Leone of the lion, right? So he's Lionheart. So he's strong and brave, just like a lion. So with there being a heart shape in the Three of Swords, it's defeat, okay, but there's bravery, right? Because there's a heart. And we can say with the Three of Swords, okay, you may have lost, you may have been defeated, but you did a good thing. And so you can be proud and take confidence for the future because you made an effort and you proved yourself in some way. So the Three of Swords, even though there's defeat, it still says a lot about the questioner, that they made an effort, they tried, they had a good attitude. Their approach was they wanted to do something good, they wanted to help. They wanted a decent result, and even though they didn't get it, and maybe they didn't, it doesn't have to involve fighting, but they took on a difficult task, and maybe they were defeated, but they proved that they've got a bravery and a certain kind of courage. With the 10, though, we've got the person lying face down in the sand and there's 9 or 10 swords in his back. So with 10, somehow there can be intelligence with the 3, but there isn't probably that much intelligence with the 10, because it's a bit like you've got 10 against 1 and the odds were very much against you. And so with the 10 of Swords, you can be foolhardy, or maybe you overestimate your strength, or you overestimate your ability. But you're kind of unrealistic with the 10 of Swords, because you maybe think that you can, that you're Uma Thurman in Kill Bill Volume 1. Remember, if you've seen the movie, there's a scene in a restaurant where Uma is on her own and she's got this sword, a samurai sword, but she has to fight against these like 500 armed Japanese gangsters with swords, and she kills them all, which is because it's a movie and not real life. So maybe with the 10 of Swords or the 10 of Swords upright, you think you're in a movie, but you're not. And so there's going to be a bad outcome. And this is because you have to deal with real life with the 10 of Swords, but the odds are against you. And you've taken on too much. You've taken on more than you can handle, and you've been defeated. So with the 3 of Swords, there's defeat but bravery. With the 10 of Swords, there's also defeat, but maybe you're just not that sensible trying to win in the first place because the odds are so much against you. So be realistic with the 10 of Swords and estimate and add and subtract and judge your strength and the strength of the opposition. And if you've got a chance, which you probably don't, then if you've got a chance, then you can make the effort, but probably you're not going to win. So that's something about numbers, really, with the 3 and the 10. And at the same time, the heart is, we have all sorts of organs in the body, but somehow the heart it's the source of life, because other organs can fail and you can keep going. So your stomach can stop working, but you can still live. But when the heart stops, so do you. Right, so the heart is energy source or enthusiasm for living and so on. So the heart in some ways is probably the most important part of the condition of the situation. And that most important part has been attacked or removed or ambushed maybe in some way. So I'm thinking of a creator or a company, and there's one individual, let's say, who's the creative individual. He comes up or she comes up with good ideas, or maybe it's the person who implements ideas better than anybody else. But if an opposing company can lure that person away, then the original company is going to begin to fall apart because the key member is no longer there. The heart has been pierced, and the heart's no longer there. So there's defeat because the key factor, the key person has been removed or taken away somehow. But at the same time, the card can show a certain amount of sophistication because somebody somewhere realized that this individual was the important one, or this was the important part of the situation or the condition. It was a key to the whole thing. So by removing the key or damaging the key in some way, you maybe destroy the force or the strength of the situation, of the condition of the company, whatever it happens to be. But with the 10, so with the 3, the sophistication, because you're cleverly identifying the key strength, let's say. But with the 10, you get it's 10 against 1. That's brute force. There's no subtlety with the 10. It's just overwhelming numbers that result in the win. On my websites, I've got this plugin called WordFence, and what they do is they monitor attacks on the website and tell you where they come from and how many there were and so on. And you can have these brute force login attempts. So you've got these hundreds of interlinked computers, and they send random passwords to the website to try and crack the code. But it's not just like there's 2 of them and they ask 3 passwords each. You've got like 1 million random passwords or 10 million passwords. And it's a brute force attack, it's called, where you just throw numbers or throw whatever it is at the problem. And just because of there's so much attack or so much force that's how you get through. And that's what you're dealing with the 10 of Swords. Maybe you've got a lot of attacks, or you've got attacks from various directions all at the same time. And that's how you win. But that's also how the other person loses. And the focus with the 10 of Swords is on the loser. That you're just don't have the resources to defend yourself against brute force attacks. Okay, that's something about the 3 and the 10 of Swords. I may come back to this later. If you have comments or questions or suggestions on the difference between them, leave a comment and we'll take it from there. Otherwise, it's something else tomorrow. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.